Hello Pisces, welcome to your weekly tarot reading. Thank you so much for joining me. It's very, very lovely to have you here. I'm Lisa, this is Rooted Souls Tarot, and we're just going to have a little bit of a look what's going on in your energy this week, what's happening in your world, what do you need to know, messages for you and all that. Right, we've got these lovely Herbiary Oracle cards, and I've got the Woodland Wardens Oracle deck by Jessica Rue. I've also got a little bit of a tickly cough, so excuse me. And then we'll have a little bit of a deeper dive with some tarot cards. So 2 cards for you, Pisces. What's going on with you this week? A little bit of a shuffle. What does Pisces need to know this week? Right. We have, rewild, plantain, pay attention, nettle. Okay, so I think this is about getting back to yourself, getting back to your old self. And maybe just keeping a little bit of a watchful eye out that nothing slips by you that you really need to be paying attention to. Obviously, pay attention, big old eye there. I think you need to keep your eye on the ball this week. And I think this week, like I say, it's all about you returning to you. I think your energy's been quite out of sorts for a long old while. There's some big planetary movements, hasn't there? I can't remember what they are because astrology is not really my thing. I like to listen and learn, but I do know for Pisces that there's been some big shifts, and you're coming out of that energy. So I think this week it's about the start of you getting back to your old self. Right. Oh, I've just pulled your card here that I'm throwing around everywhere. The Trout and Lily of the Valley, purification. So I think maybe you've been diluted. You've been diluting yourself. You've not been your full self. And now you are getting back to pure, unadulterated you. And I think you're going to start feeling it, actually, more than even just showing up in as your old self. I think you're going to start feeling more like your old self. And I think there's definitely something that you need to notice. That eye keeps looking at me. Let's have a look at the cards. Let's see what the cards have got to say and how they tie in with the tarot. Okay. Don't forget, if you like the reading, please let me know with a thumbs up, a comment. I'd love to know what's going on with you this week. And even if you fancy subscribing, that's always great. I'm trying to build a little community here, so it'd be lovely to have you. It's completely free. Right, Pisces, 6 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, the Lovers, Judgment. There you go. Right, 6 of Pentacles. I think things have been out of balance recently, if not even for a goodly while. And things have felt quite blocked, quite stagnant, and things haven't been moving in the way that you would have liked for a goodly while. Weeks, months, maybe even years for a few of you. But good news, that's all about to change. Things are going to start feeling freer. The energy is going to be able to start flowing the way that it needs to. Balance is going to be restored, and I think things are going to feel an awful lot better. We've got the 7 of Pentacles there. 7 of Pentacles is figuring out what works and releasing what doesn't. So I think, you are going to be in a place where the energy is freer, the energy is flowing better, and you're going to need to do a little bit of weeding and pruning, a little bit of reassessment, what's working for you, what's not, and just letting go and releasing the things that aren't being helpful to you. We've got the Magician. You've been getting that card for the last few weeks, the card of manifestation, the card of having all the tools that you need to do the job in hand. So I think maybe you've been in manifestation mode. You've certainly had the card over the last few weeks, few months. So maybe that energy that you've been throwing out into the universe is helping you to restore that balance, helping you to figure out what needs to go, what needs to stay, and helping you draw the things towards you that are going to help you in doing that, in creating that balance, in creating this vision for yourself for the future. I think things are going to start moving, things are going to start happening, and I think it's because of the efforts that you've been putting into things. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is about making smart choices with your pentacle. So whether that's with your health, whether that's with your wealth, I think you are going to have to be quite savvy. And I actually think this is pay attention. I think you're going to have to keep a little bit of an eye on yourself when it comes to making those choices. I think you're going to have some difficult choices, but not difficult, big choices, not difficult, big, coming up. And I think you need to embrace your King of Pentacles. You need to really get your head on, really, think about how you're moving forward. Think about making, those good decisions, wise decisions. We've got the Nine of Pentacles there, so things are looking good in the world of your pentacles. And I think you've got death and rebirth. I think you're having a brand new beginning. So I think things are shifting for you in the realms of pentacles, and I think it's going to be a good one because we've got the nine. I think you've got your maybe all your ducks in a row. I think when it comes to your pentacles coming up this week, I think things are really looking up, and I think you've got a brand new beginning where you've got the opportunity to move forwards in a better way. And I think this is going to aid you with getting back to yourself, connecting with yourself, and getting back to the old you. Purification may even well come into play with your health. Maybe, this King of Pentacles, if you've been feeling out of sorts, if things haven't quite been going well with, your wellness recently, maybe you're needing to purify, to look after yourself in a bit of a better way. Eating well, eating better, and finding ways to improve your health, or your pentacle, your wealth. However that looks for you this week. Don't forget, it's a general reading. It's something different for everybody. But I definitely feel this week is about you getting back to your old self. We've got the Three of Wands there. That's you having the opportunity to look out onto the horizon to see where next. What's next for you? What's next for you in the realms of your joy, your happiness, maybe even work for some of you. But I think you're moving on. You're moving forward. You're looking forwards. Looking where you can find some growth, some expansion within your life. And then we've got the Knight of Wands. So you actively making moves towards that place, wherever that is for you. We've got Eight of Pentacles, working hard. So I think for a lot of you it's going to be about work, but it could just be about you working hard, pulling everything together to move yourself forwards. Maybe it involves, if you move in house, if you want to move house, maybe having to pack all the house up. Maybe if you're looking towards a new job, maybe you're having to learn something in order for you to secure that job. But you're taking action, you're taking steps in the right direction when it comes to moving towards the things that make you happy. We've got the Lovers card there. The Lovers, obviously, it's about deep connection. So it could well be a significant other within your life. It could be just somebody that you have a connection with, but it's all looking very favourable in that area of life as well, because we've got the Six of Swords. So things feeling better, things feeling less stressful, more peace, more serenity. Again, if you're feeling more like yourself, then that's going to have a knock-on effect with your relationships and the people around you. And then we've got the Nine of Cups. So, you're opening your heart, you're connecting with all of the lovely things that are coming together for you, and you're starting to see, everything coming together. You've got a Nine of Pentacles and you've got a Nine of Cups. You're almost there. You're almost there at the place, the 10 moments, the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, having it all, having everything that you've been hoping and dreaming for. You're almost there. You're going in the right direction, and things are starting to feel easier, and you're certainly starting to feel it. And I think that in itself is helping you to feel more like your old self. We've got the Judgment card, and for me, this is about you unfolding, unblossoming, and just starting to show up in the world in a whole different way, more like your old self. It's been within you. I think obviously who we are at our core, it's always there, but circumstances come along, and it gets pushed in and so that we're not really able to shine and to show up the way that in the way that we need to, the way that's authentic to us, because of situations and things that happen around us. There's been a lot of this week, actually. A lot of the readings have all been about connecting with your authentic self, getting back into alignment with what you want, who you truly are. And I think this week it is the same for you. It's about unfurling, almost like a butterfly. You've been cooped up in a little pupa for the last however many years, and now it's time to unfold. Yes, you are still you. You're a different you, but you are still you. And I think you've been in this state of I almost want to say healing for a lot of you. I think you've needed to show up in a different way because you've been protecting yourself, and now I think the healing is done, and it's time for you to unfurl your wings and come into transformation mode, judgment mode, showing up in the world as yourself. That rewild card, just getting back to who you truly are. And I feel like this is starting to happen. This is the beginning of it this week. We've got the Five of Wands and we've got the Queen of Cups. I think you maybe there's a little bit of you that's a little bit conflicted about moving forward, maybe a little bit scared about this transformation that you're going through, and I think we always expect to stay the same, don't we? But we're not the same. You are a different person than you were 30 years ago, and your authentic self is a different person than it was 30 years ago. You've grown, you've changed, you've had experiences, you've had life experiences, and things are never going to be the same. You are at your core. The authentic you is you at its core. You've just evolved, you've grown, you've expanded, you've changed, and more than anything, you've experienced a great amount of healing, I believe. And I think you've just got to sit with with yourself. I think you've got to be kind. I think you've got to be compassionate with yourself. Just sit in those emotions, embrace those emotions, surrender to the way that you're feeling, and know that you're pretty amazing. You are pretty amazing. However, you're feeling maybe about yourself, maybe this conflict about who you are now. It's the you that's been through stuff. It's the you that's been through healing, and you've just got to be kind to yourself. Be compassionate to yourself. I want one more card. Yeah, you're making inroads in moving towards your destiny. Things are starting to shift. Things are starting to move, and I think it's quite exciting, Pisces. Things are definitely shifting. Things are definitely moving this week. This is the week, and this is the week that you get to start getting back to your true you, even if it's a little bit different than you thought it was going to be. Yeah. Right, I'm going to leave it at that. That's short and sweet, and I think it was quite to the point. So you take care of yourself. Stay rooted, stay open, stay magical. Again, you've got this card. Look after yourself, and I will catch up again with you very, very soon.